Baltimore is famous. I'm from Richmond, Virginia, so we know Baltimore, home of Edgar Allan Poe, home of John Waters. Well, I think pretty soon people are going to be saying Baltimore, the home of Breanna Sinclaire, with us today. Welcome, Breanna.
Thank you, thank you.
So now, how long have you been singing professionally?
Professionally, I've been singing probably about 6 years.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And you're a mezzo.
I am.
Now, we were talking before the cameras went on. Who's your favorite mezzo-soprano?
Grace Bunbury is one of my favorites, and her voice is just incredible and stellar, and everything about her is outstanding. So.
Now, your grandma introduced you to opera. Yes? Tell me about that.
Well, my mother would send me to my grandmother's house to babysit me while my mom would go to work, and she would play these tracks like over and over of Marian Anderson and Leontyne Price and Jesse Norman, and listening to those tracks really just gave me the drive to do something like this. I could naturally sing because I used to sing a lot of gospel music at church, and my family would throw me up on the stage to sing. So I naturally had a talent to sing.
Southern Baptist? Or,
Yeah, so they pushed me up there, and I kept singing and singing, and then just being with my grandmother really taught me that, you know, I can be whatever I want to be if I put my mind to it. So she kind of introduced me to that world.
Right.
So.
Now, you have gotten this, you know, they say everyone's famous for 15 minutes. I think it's going to be longer than that for you. But you've had kind of a 15 minutes around something that happened a few weeks ago, being the first transgender singer to open a major American sporting event.
Yes.
What was that like, and how was it for you?
Well, it was a surreal experience. I was really nervous. I think maybe the most nervous I've ever been in any performance venue.
Because it was for an A's game, right?
Yes, it was for an A's game. There were a mix of like LGBT individuals and along with like heterosexual individuals, and so some of them gave me the little look and the little flair, but I kind of just take a deep breath and just sang, and you know, it's our national anthem. I'm American, and you know, we're all in this together. So besides me being transgender, my goal was to sing the national anthem correctly.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you knocked it out of the park. Pardon the, you know, the pun.
Yes.
I mean, what as a transgender woman did that mean to you?
It means that, you know, we can strive for excellence if we put our mind to it.
Right.
And, you know, especially being a trans woman of color, it's very difficult to maneuver in the world. The world it's a tough place.
Yeah.
But I learned how to maneuver and learn how to just to work past all the discriminatory incidences and stuff, you know. And I knew that I had a gift, and I'm smart, and I just kind of paved that way for myself, you know. Especially when your family's not there to support, you kind of have to do it by yourself.
Keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.
Well, I mean, besides keeping on, we've been singing on.
Yes.
So I think we got a clip here.
Okay.
We're going to take a look and a listen of you singing for, I think, a wedding.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Breanna Sinclaire, bring it on. That is so gorgeous in so many ways. Do you remember the feeling of just, I mean, I worked in the opera for a while and I studied voice, but trust me, hon, I don't have a voice like that. There's something about opera that does something to your body, to your instrument, that other types of music don't do. What does it feel like to have that music just coming out of your body?
It's very heavenly. It's very ethereal because singing classical music is very organic, so it's very natural. So what you hear is what you hear. If I crack, you hear all of
Right.
that.
There's no synthesizers there covered. There's no dancers coming out to cover that up.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are attracted to that organic sound, where it's raw, but also it's a trained sound, and people are moved by that sound. And I mean, sometimes when I open my mouth and sing, I'm like, how is this even coming out, even though I've had all this training, you know? So I'm very thankful for my gift.
Right.
And
now you began your training before your transition.
Yes.
Before you even thought about your transition. When did you start to say, I'm Breanna?
When I was 19 years old, I was getting my bachelor's at the California Institute of the Arts, and I remember the voice teachers actually at the conservatory said to me that they didn't think I would be a good fit singing soprano and mezzo soprano, and there was a lot of arguments going on with that. But I was like, please, just give me a chance. I will work hard. My voice already set very high, so my voice technically didn't change. And so I really wanted to develop that vocal fach. And so I pushed and I worked and now I'm slowly getting to where I need to be. So.
Yeah. So now what's next for you? Recording? Stage work? Are we going to see you in some of those wonderful roles that Grace Bumbry made famous? I mean,
well, I think I'm going to start auditioning for a lot of summer opera programs. I'm going to keep up with my coach and really polish up some things vocally and musically and see where it goes from there. So normally I've been getting a lot of offers. So until that all evens out.
yeah. So do you have representation now, or are you taking the phone calls and the emails yourself?
Well, I'm actually working on representation right now because I can't do this by myself. So I've been working on trying to find someone to support me in that avenue, so I can really focus on my music and my craft. So,
who would you most like to meet?
Well, there's so many people I like to meet. Maybe Jessie Norman again, because I met her when I was 15, before I transitioned, and I want to talk to her now and see what she thinks. So,
I mean, I can't imagine that someone like Jessie Norman wouldn't be moved by hearing your story about meeting her and what the inspiration was.
Yes, she inspires me to move forward, because I mean, we're both big girls. I mean, she's up over 6 feet tall and I'm 6'2.5".
Yeah.
So, and just to see her on stage with confidence and really utilizing her body and her sound really helps me to, work on those things with my music. So, and she's just brilliant. So,
in our last few moments, talk to me about what you see as the curve of liberation. What does it feel like to be a black woman, a member of the transgender community? I mean, in a sense, this curve started with Marian Anderson there on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial.
All I'm going to say is it's very surreal, because there is so much the world needs to see and learn, and I think that I'm a part of that movement with so many other trans women like Janet Mock and Laverne Cox, and they're all doing different avenues of their craft, and I feel like this craft, being an opera singer, is a very conservative craft, and I'm very thankful that I'm able to be a part of that community as a trans woman, and hopefully a lot of audiences, it will open their eyes to that.
Open their eyes and their voice.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We've been speaking with Breanna Sinclaire. Thank you for tuning in every week to Watch 10%. I'm David Perry. We'll see you next week.